I am recording. This is Exotic. I've been fighting with this for a couple days. Trying to get Automobilista to record 60 frames per second, 1080p without stuttering. And I think I finally cracked it. So I'm going to show some settings here. I'm going to launch the configuration tool. My refresh rate's 144 hertz because that's what my monitor does, and I don't think that is related to the stuttering problem. So now I'm going to actually play the game, and thankfully this game loads up pretty quick. And I forgot to plug in my webcam, so it's probably got a little black fucking thing down there. So I'm just going to go through my display settings. The big thing here is the FPS limit. I'm pretty sure this has to be 60 frames per second. I'm pretty sure. And on top of that, you've got to adjust the rest of these settings so that they're not taxing your particular GPU. Because if your GPU can't maintain the 60 frames per second, then you'll get stuttering. You just will, because your graphics card can't do the job. So we've got all this set up the way I think it should be. Now I'm going to load up this replay video that has caused me issues in the past couple days trying to get a good recording of it. And in this pass, it should be stutter free. And I'm going to do maybe like one lap or something where I've had issues, and this should be nice and clean. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hop out of the replay, and change the settings so that they're problematic. And then I'm going to do this again, and we'll see if that in reality causes problems, which I think it will. So the trees in the background, they're not the best. The blades of grass don't exist, but this should be nice and smooth. And I'm just gonna let this play. How freaking amazing 60 frames a second looks when it's done properly. Even when I'm not seeing blades of grass and leaves on trees and shit. I guess I could do a 30 frames per second example in the video. Maybe I'll do that. Like an extended amount of nonsense. Because who doesn't like a deep dive data? We are coming around our final turns here. Start finish. So at this point I'm going to hop out of this. And I'm going to go back to the settings, and I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to let's actually take this down to 30. Now let's immediately compare 60 to 30. Curious. I haven't actually done this yet. to know what that's going to look like in terms of recording, because the recording is 60 frames a second. So if the game is only doing 30, I don't even know what that's going to look like in terms of XSplit recording it effectively, properly. But I don't know. So go, 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 go. God. It's like watching a TV from the 70s. Like, where are my temporal frames? It's like you don't see it as much as feel it. Like, I don't see a difference necessarily with 30 frames a second and 60, but I feel it. It just feels slow. I should do this experiment with like 120 frames a second. It's not bad, it still hurts. I like it. That's my first world problem. I don't like 30 frames a second. Okay, that's enough of that. And I don't even know what it looks like because I haven't watched the video yet because I'm recording it right now. Okay, so now I'm going to crank this up. And I'm going to set my FPS limit to a multiplier of 60, which should be completely acceptable. And I can't go up to 180. I'm going to prove it to you. It stops at 150. So if I could go up to 180, I would. But I can't. So I won't. Okay. 120. I think everything else here is probably fine. I'm not really a big fan of the shadows or the shadow blur. But I think everything else is okay. Alright, so this should have lots and lots of stutter and jitter and just look not very good. If I'm right, and I usually am. Except when I'm not, and then I'm wrong. And then I have to go find out why I'm wrong so I can be right again. Okay. Blades of grass. Look at the bark on those trees. Look at all those leaves. It's amazing. It's too bad it's stop animation. Although, honestly, what I'm looking at right now looks freaking awesome. So, if you're just playing the game and not recording it, you should crank up your settings, graphically speaking, because this is pretty freaking sweet. But I'm assuming this looks like crap because it's a lot of stuttery mess. So I'm gonna stop recording and hopefully and I can upload this, and you will also see that this is a stuttery mess. So if you're trying to upload your Automobilista, you want to keep your graphical settings reasonable, and you want to lock your max frames per second to 60. And that should resolve your stutter problems if you're recording in XSplit. And I'm using the NV encode.